Hello all, welcome to the new podcast. Today, what we have amongst us is AIIMS Toppers, and we have four AIIMS Toppers with us. Before starting the session, I'll introduce myself. I'm Saurabh Chatterjee, and there is Rishabh Agarwal as well. Rishabh, please say hi.
Hi.
Yes, so we both are founders of Jeet Niti, JEE and NEET mentorship platform, and now bringing you to the AIIMS Toppers of 2025 batch. So we have with us Anik Ghosh, Atharva Haval, Vikrant, and Himanshu. All right. So I would request the mentors one by one, the toppers, to introduce themselves. So first, let's start with Anik.
Hello, I am Anik Ghosh. I scored All India rank 67 in NEET 2025. I'm basically from West Bengal. And yes, students can come to me for any kind of guidance and help.
Perfect. Now let's go to Atharva.
Hello everyone, I am Atharva Haval from Kolhapur, Maharashtra. I secured a 177 All India rank 177 in NEET 2025. You can ask any questions and any mentorship guidance from me.
Perfect. Now let's go to Vikrant.
Hello, I'm Vikrant Karamanchi. I'm from Guntur, Andhra Pradesh. I secured the rank 262 in NEET 2025, which was my first attempt. And you can come to me for any kind of queries.
And finally, let's come to Himanshu.
Hi everyone, my name is Himanshu. I'm from Pilani, Rajasthan. I scored NEET rank of 86 in NEET 2025 and it was my second attempt at NEET. And you can come to me with all the questions you have. I'm always there to help you out.
All right. So thank you all for giving us time. And I hope this session would be really helpful to all the NEET aspirants. You guys sharing your extremely valuable knowledge. Now let us come to the main set of questions. The first sort of thing what majority of the aspirants are sort of confused about कि कितना घंटे self study करना चाहिए, how many hours of self study needs to be done, ठीक है? And apart from that, how many sort of during your prep, how much preparation percentage time did you give to physics, chemistry, and maths overall? So let's start with Anik.
Yes, sir. So first of all, how many hours to study? तो मेरे हिसाब से पढ़ाई कितना घंटे उससे ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट है कि आप पढ़ाई के बारे में सोच कितना टाइम रहे हैं। मतलब चाहे आप पढ़ रहे हैं कि नहीं पढ़ रहे, वो उस टाइम में भी आपका जो माइंड सेट है वो पढ़ाई के रिलेटेड होना चाहिए। जैसे ठीक है, आप कोचिंग के बाद 5 घंटा 6 घंटा सेल्फ स्टडी कर लिए, लेकिन बाकी जो टाइम है ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि आपका मतलब माइंड सेट जो है पूरा पढ़ाई से डाइवर्ट हो रहा है, आप कुछ और सोच रहे हैं, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए। और बाकी रहा कौन से सब्जेक्ट को कितना टाइम देना है, उस हिसाब से मैं जो किया था फिजिक्स को मैं थोड़ा कम टाइम देता था, लेकिन जो सबसे आपको हार्ड लगता है सब्जेक्ट उसको सबसे ज्यादा टाइम दो, तो धीरे धीरे क्या होगा वो इजी बन जाएगा। पहली बात तो जैसे बायो जो है हम तो सिर्फ एनसीईआरटी पढ़ते हैं, तो डेली कुछ ना कुछ हो तो एनसीईआरटी थोड़ा बहुत पढ़ लिया करो। और फिजिक्स केमिस्ट्री के क्वेश्चंस कर लेना चाहिए। जैसे केमिस्ट्री में जैसे कुछ चैप्टर्स इनऑर्गेनिक, वो तो भूलने वाले चैप्टर्स है, तो उसको केमिस्ट्री में रिलेटिवली थोड़ा ज्यादा टाइम पढ़ने के लिए देना चाहिए। और कुछ चैप्टर्स है जैसे फिजिकल केमिस्ट्री, उसको रिलेटिवली थोड़ा ज्यादा टाइम क्वेश्चन सॉल्विंग के लिए देना चाहिए। अप्रॉक्स मेरा जो था, मैं 20% टाइम फिजिक्स को देता था, 50% केमिस्ट्री को, और बाकी बायोलॉजी पढ़ता था।
Perfect. So
तो ये स्टूडेंट टू स्टूडेंट वैरी करेगा।
all right. So now let's come to Atharva. कि in general what used to be a self study hours and कितना splitting of time कहाँ पे देते थे?
Actually मैं apart from coaching 5 to 6 hours self study को देता था, 5 to 6 hours। और उसमें भी मतलब डिवाइडेशन ऐसा था कि फिजिक्स के लिए थोड़ा टाइम एक 50% 40% फिजिक्स के लिए, और जो रिमेनिंग टाइम है उसका हाफ ऑफ टाइम केमिस्ट्री एंड बायोलॉजी को। फिजिक्स अब पहले अगर टफ लगे तो फिजिक्स को ज्यादा टाइम दो, क्योंकि फिजिक्स स्कोरिंग, अगर फिजिक्स स्कोरिंग होगा तो अच्छी रैंक आपकी सिक्योर करने में ज्यादा हेल्प करेगा। अदर जो बायोलॉजी है, बायोलॉजी के लिए एनसीईआरटी तो करना ही है। बायोलॉजी के लिए एनसीईआरटी हर दिन पढ़ना है, मतलब एक टॉपिक होगा तो उसके बाद थोड़ा रिवाइज करने के लिए फिर से समरी देखना है। फिर और केमिस्ट्री के लिए एनसीईआरटी एंड द क्वेश्चंस फ्रॉम अदर सोर्सेस लाइक बालाजी।
Let's come to sort of Vikrant.
Yeah. Apart from the coaching classes and lectures, I used to spend around 6 to 7 hours a day on my self-study. And in that, 40 to 50% would be for physics. And for chemistry and bio, I used to give like equal times. Physics
All
was the hardest at the start, so I had to give more time. But as you get used to it, you can spend lesser time.
perfect.
So, coming to the next part, let's say every topper has a unique way of studying. So, I'd like to start by asking you guys what unique three things you did in your preparation which help you get a very good rank out of 25 lakh aspirants in NEET exam. Basically, आपने अलग क्या किया था? So, let's start with Vikram.
Yeah. The core point of learning something is actually trying to understand every single thing, which helps in easily memorizing the things, which almost half of the aspirants don't know about. And also, taking guidance from seniors and mentors has always helped in how I sort things out. And also, spending more times to actually solve the problems and remember how to solve the problems instead of just to like solve as many as I can in lesser time. I have to complete this thing in this much time. Like, it's more of a quality than quantity.
Got it, got it.
That's the
Yeah, that's very
yeah.
well said. What about Athar? Athar, what unique things you did in your preparation?
I actually regularly do the mock test at the same time as that of the NEET, means 2 to 5 p.m. So I can develop my biological clock according to it. And I used to carry a error diary, so I can write down the errors in it, which I did in my means past test. And I used to take some mentorship guidance from my seniors and some from my faculty members.
Got it, got it. Anik?
So first of all, the main thing is that you need to pay attention in classes. Means this 100% attendance attention should be the what the teacher is saying. Like many a times, what it happens that teacher says that in this place you are going to make a mistake. So focus on that thing and work on that. And then there comes the guidance from seniors, of course. Like I had many of my doubts solved from seniors that actually the guidance changed my way of thinking, way of solving my question paper. So they also helped me.
So I can see like maybe coaching provided a competitive edge like 15 years ago when it was available to some and not available to the others. Nowadays, mentorship is that competitive edge that students can avail, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So now let's come to one questions what majority of the NEET aspirants actually ask a lot. That apart from NCRTs, PYQs, and regular coaching modules, which are the good reference books for concepts and as well as question practice for physics, chemistry, and bio? Like what notes did you solve? You would have solved good notes and as well as the notes that were not that worthy. So finally, what are the good reference books that you would suggest? Let's start with Anik.
For reference books, I will say that don't just buy any reference book which you get to know. Buy some standard books which are really good equipped. They have good questions in them. For example, I use for physics DC Pandey. That was a good book to me. But you can also use LLS in that. And for PYQ book, I will suggest a very good MTG NEET Champions बोल के एक book आता है. In that book, you will get all the pre-medical exams, like not only NEET, previously we also had AIIMS and AIIMS. So from that also good quality questions which are relevant to today's NEET, they are given in that. So you can use that. And for making notes, I would say prefer making notes yourself because your notes you can revise faster. But notes made by someone, it will take you some time to grasp that. So make your own notes.
Perfectly said answer. Now let's come to Vikrant. What would you suggest?
Okay. Yeah. For bio and chemistry, I used fingertips by MTG. It was like pretty, you know, extensive questions. There were extensive questions in that, like different kinds of questions, and summed up into a single book. But for physics, I used the regular coaching modules and the PYQs. That those were enough for me. But if we had to do extensive preparation, PYQs from the JEE mains were used. That
So
were
the JEE means PYQs. I would be coming to that question because that's a very important dilemma that students have. So apart from the modules that you mentioned, is there any specific modules? Say you used to sort of like depend on coaching modules for physics, but is there any good reference books for physics you would suggest?
yeah. AIIMS books were really good based on the concept, but I didn't use them for the problem solving part.
All right. Okay. So now let's come to Atharva Haval.
Hmm. Sir, for physics, apart from the module of my institute, I used to use the C. Verma and the DC Pandey series and the single series for physics.
Right. So one of the key important insights that I get from all four of you almost is, even though a NEET aspirant is preparing for NEET, yet JEE means PYQs are really important, because a lot of questions can, and this is what we have observed, does get repeated. All right. Now let's come to the next question. NEET may, I have observed that aspirants tend to cram up, a lot of formulas and reactions. Because most of the coaching classes शायद यही बोलते हैं कि derivations are not that useful. So what is the importance of derivations in physics and mechanisms in organic chemistry? या सिर्फ formula से the काम चल सकता है वाला चीज है. So let's start with Anik this time.
रट्टा तो मेरे ख्याल से नहीं मानना चाहिए फॉर्मूला का, क्योंकि डेरिवेशन अगर नहीं पता होगा, इफ यू डोंट नो द डेरिवेशन हाउ इट वेयर फ्रॉम वेयर इट केम फ्रॉम, you don't know why we're actually using it and where to actually use it. So even if you forget some points of the formula and if you know the derivation, you can actually remember that formula perfectly in exam, during exam. And also there are some type of questions in physics where you need to know the derivation. And speaking for organic chemistry, of course the mechanism is very very important, because nowadays it is becoming more conceptual. For example, JEE mains type questions are coming in NEET. So in NEET, there now you are starting to get the conceptual organic chemistry question, for which mechanism is a must to know.
Perfect. Let's come to Vikrant.
Yeah. So cramming up formulas and reaction mechanisms is a really, really bad thing, because you tend to mix up everything and often get confused. But if you know how to actually derive the formulas and how the reaction mechanisms actually work, you can go step by step and you can get to know which step you have to use for the required problem. Even if you get confused with the formula, you can actually derive it from the start and you by using the concept you've learned. So it's really important to know how where the formula came from or how the reaction mechanisms actually occur.
All right. And let's come to Atharva.
Actually, for chemistry, it is not like that you need not to by heart the mega formula. Formula is for your time saving. You can have it very easily, but you also have to know the whole mechanism behind the formula. Means formula is for the time saving, so it is very important also. But you have to know the mechanism also. If the new question is comes to the exam and question paper, and you don't know how the mechanism occurs, then it is you can't face that question. So you have to know both the formula as well as the derivation for organic chemistry, and for physics also the same.
All right. So that is a very important point that Atharva made, that in NEET, speed and accuracy matters a lot. So formulas must be there, but at the same time for conceptual depth, because the examiner can always test out the assumptions, whether the child is familiar with the assumptions behind the formula or not. So at the same time, derivations and mechanisms are also there.
Okay, so let's come to another important aspect of preparation, which is paper management. So I'd like to know, what was your subject wise sequence when you attempted the exam, and how much time did you give to each subject while solving the exam? So I'll start with Vikrant.
Yeah. I used to spend around 1 or 20 minutes to 30 minutes for just for physics and around 50 minutes for chemistry and the rest for bio. But I used to divide this time into parts so that I get to see each and every question twice.
Okay, and which
Yeah.
subject did you usually go in for first and then second and third?
I used to go bio with first, and then chemistry, and then physics.
Any specific reason for that? Like, do you have a logic for that, or like, what was the
Yeah.
mechanism behind that?
Yeah, most questions in bio and chem are based on memory.
Mm-hmm.
So if you complete the memory based questions at the start, you can spend more time. Like you can, you know, like how to the logically solving questions in physics. You can spend more time on that with a peace of mind. So I used to do physics at last.
Got it, got it. Anik, what was your strategy?
My sequence was same. First biology, then chemistry, and the last physics. My reason was that biology took a really less time, like 30 to 35 minutes max. So when I completed half of the paper, like biology contributes half of the paper. So when I completed half of the paper in this 30-35 minutes, it used to give me a boost of confidence that okay, half I've completed, only half is left. So after that, I then moved to chemistry. Like chemistry is both logical and थोड़ा रटने वाला होता है. So then I moved to chemistry and finally physics. When I have peace of mind, I can perfectly solve the physics paper with no other tension of completing other things.
I think Anik,
That's why this was my
yeah, you bring a very important point that confidence matters a lot while you're solving the exam. So when you have covered a lot of marks and you are confident enough that I have done very huge portion of my paper in very less time, so you can spend considerably more time with less tension going forward towards the end of the exam, right?
yes, sir.
Sir?
I used to finish my paper in 2 rounds. The first round for the easy questions, the memory type questions in biology, chemistry, and physics also, and then the main important questions. And the second round, though the questions are left for the second round, means like and my sequence was like first biology, then chemistry, and then physics. I actually took nearly max to max 50 minutes for biology. If there is some hard questions comes to biology, generally you have to complete biology in 30 to 35 minutes. But if the questions are actually hard, then max to max 50 minutes. And then 40 to 45 minutes for chemistry, and the remaining whole time for physics and the bubbling circle filling of the OMR.
Got it. So, what I can gather from the experience of all of you is that it depends a lot on the individual itself, what suits him, and that is why knowing your strengths and weaknesses becomes very important as to how to attempt the paper, right? So, one more thing which I'd like to bring is like from our observation, what we have seen is majority of AIIMS toppers' favorite subject is physics. Like while most of the NEET aspirants hate physics. So, how did you differently approach physics that made you love that subject? So, let's start with Vikram.
Yeah. The reason why most people hate physics and take it as a burden is because they don't try to understand the concept, but yet want to solve all the questions just based on the formulas. Understanding the concept makes it a bit more interesting to learn. And once you applied the concept you've learned to solve a question, instead of just using the memorized formulas, you get a kind of satisfaction that takes you further to learn more and apply it more.
Okay. Athar?
As Vikrant said, the don't take physics as a burden or don't fear it. I've seen some students that they fears the physics because they just wanted the formula based questions, like you put a formula and just derive the answer and just write it the circle fill. When when your concept is actually to the core and to the edge, then you can actually solve any types of question in the physics. And physics, actually loving physics is actually very good that you can face the most challenging part very easily.
Got it. Anik, what are your thoughts about this?
Nothing much to say about it, but I just say that you can hate physics only when you are just trying to cram it up. So just focus on the concept and its utilities in regular life because physics has a utility in everything you do every time. So if you could connect that with the thing, like I just said previously, also just think about study all the time. No, doesn't matter if you're studying for 5 hours. Also, rest of the time think about study. So think about physics. That how I can actually use it in real life and read about its applications. Then you will try to not in a more mathematical but an imaginative way. Then it will try to it will make you interested in physics. You will not hate it anymore.
Yeah.
That's very well said. The next question, which actually remains is NCRT is very, very important for biology, organic and inorganic chemistry, and that is for sure. But what's the importance of NCRT in physics and in physical chemistry? Like, did you do sort of or use NCRTs for physics and physical chemistry as well? Because the general perception is lot of NEET aspirants, they tend to discard NCRTs in physics and physical chemistry. So let's start with Vikrant in this case.
NCRT for physics and physical chemistry is as important as we do the numericals because many theory based questions get asked in those concepts. So, and most of those questions will be direct lines from the NCRT. So, they're as important as numericals.
Perfect. Now let's go to Anik.
Yeah, right. NCRT, though, as I said, for bio and inorganic, it's very important. But for physical chemistry, I found it very useful because, for example, I'm giving in thermodynamics, there were a few points in NCRT which were really, really good. It will actually make you interested in the subject for physical chemistry and also for physics. Physics NCRT, there are a few examples given which actually make you interested in the topics. But so actually, physical chemistry, you can invest the time in that, but physics, I won't say that NCERT reading is compulsory, but if you have time, you can read with that. And another thing, NCERT lab manuals also come, which are in the NEET syllabus. So please read. We need to read from that the practical topics which are in the NEET syllabus. So that's all.
All right. So one important point and conclusion that I can draw from what Anik said is that physical chemistry is important, but however, it's necessary but not a sufficient criteria. So that is one important point to note. Now let's come to Atharva.
NCERT is actually very underrated for physics and physical chemistry because the majority of students use NCERT for organic chemistry, inorganic one, and for biology. But physics and physical chemistry, NCERT is very underrated. We actually have to use it very means efficiently because some questions, examples are directly come from the NCERT, and the questions given at the back of the NCERT, they actually very important for your core concept building. So you have to use NCERT for physics and physical chemistry very efficiently, and the new advanced numericals which are actually derived from the same pages and same language also. The NCERT language is very important for the question understanding also.
Perfect. So now the next questions, the next important thing is it is widely suggested that apart from coaching notes, NEET aspirants must also make short summary notes for quick revision. So did you sort of make such sort of notes, and if yes, then how? Also, did you make it say after each chapter, or did you make those summary notes at the end during the revision part? So let's start Atharva this time.
I have made short summary notes for all the subjects, for biology also, chemistry also, physics also. I wrote them after every chapter, not at the end. I don't used to make it as backlog for me. Then it is very important for the revision classes, means the revision time. When we just turn the pages that you wrote in the summary type, so it makes very what we say time saving for you at the last time, means during the time of revision also, and at the what we call मतलब एग्जाम के कुछ दिन पहले, मतलब एग्जाम के 15-20 दिन पहले रिवीजन के लिए वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होते हैं, जो तुमने आपने जो खुद बनाए होते हैं ना नोट्स, वो इसलिए.
All right. So now let's come to Anik, and also please guide us कि अगर summary notes अगर useful है तो उसको किस तरीके से बनाना चाहिए, because making summary notes itself is very subjective and it's an art. So Anik.
So according to me, I didn't make any summary notes for biology because biology, any important point I used to write on my NCERT. My NCERT is full of my handwriting, so I used to read only from NCERT. I used to make notes, very good short notes for physics and physical chemistry because it has a lot of formulas and in few cases like in inorganic exceptions are there for those. So what I used to do is used to make notes when I revise the chapter second time because first of all when I'm reading the chapter I don't know which topics are more important. So when I used to give one test of that chapter, after that I used to make short notes of that chapter. So and I for revision I use a short notes like I revise the whole chapter before 2-3 days before the exam. So before the mock test on the morning of the mock test, I used to revise a quick go through those short notes to memorize those. Just that.
Perfect. So again, it's all about the objective that one is trying to achieve. So in case if a student is comfortable, he can sort of jot down the important points in the notes itself, or otherwise if there is a lack of time, or otherwise the student's preference, the same objective can, as Himanshu said, can be made out by highlighting the notes, highlighting it say in the books itself. Now let's come to Atharva.
uh, as said that I used the same color coding for my notes also, and color coding for the red for the weak areas, and the greener for the highlighted one, the highlighted part, for my summary notes. And they're actually for as a lifeline for the last 15 days before exam.
All right. So that is there. So again, summary notes, it's a very subjective thing.
So let's come to one of the most widely asked question, like how important is it to get into ninth and 10th NEET foundation courses to get a good rank in first attempt itself? Is it really necessary, or is it something that people are doing out of FOMO? So is this an aspirant's disadvantage, like if he doesn't appear for this like if he doesn't enroll for these courses? So let's start with Vikrant.
Yeah. The 9th to 10th need foundation is not that necessary because personally I didn't get any benefit from it. Because not every kid gets the right mind to understand such complex concepts at that age. So for me, just using the 11th and 12th time efficiently was enough for me.
All right, Athar.
A strong foundation for ninth and 10th surely helps NEET aspirants for the NEET exam, but it is not necessary that you have to do it. It is not necessary. Means I have seen lots of aspirants that they actually start after 10th, but actually cracked NEET very well. Means they secured very top ranks. It is not necessary that you have to take means a foundation for ninth and 10th, but it surely helps you in the uh, 11 12 preparation for NEET.
Got it. Anik, what's your take on this?
Sir, I don't think that 9, 10 foundation courses are that important because I personally didn't have any. I didn't have proper tuition also till 10th. Only 11th, 12th I prepared, and I think that's enough. Unless you, जब तक आपको लगता है कि आप utilize time सही कर रहे हैं, you just know how to utilize that 2 years of time properly and don't waste it, so you can score a good rank.
All right, all right. I think that sums up our discussion, and this was a very insightful discussion. Thanks for joining us, and I request our audience to comment any queries that they have in the comment box, and our mentors will surely reply to you. Also, if you find the podcast helpful, then like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. See you in the next podcast. Hey guys, if you also need personal guidance and strategy from NEET Toppers, then do join our mentorship program. You can get more details at jeetniti.com, or you can call us at 7889 15661. Plan starts at just rupees 12.99 a month. See you there.